Cracked stone bricks hold the vaulted ceiling of what might have been once a mausoleum, now long abandoned. As you enter deeper, the ominous sound of a guttural screech warns you of the dangers ahead. From the darkness emerges a skeleton.
Oh, come on.
Not another skeleton.
This is the third week in a row we've fought skeletons. Well, wait, this one is different. This one has an axe. I like skeletons.
Let's get geared up.
So you want to build an encounter in Pathfinder. An interesting encounter that challenges your players not only in their ability to make a big number, but also give them a tactical challenge and incorporate into your story so it's relevant and narratively satisfying. Sounds fairly easy. There's a couple of steps to create an encounter, so how about we look at what the book says about combat encounters first. Creatures have a level. You can assume, fairly accurately, that a creature of the same level as your party would be an appropriate encounter, and a creature with a much higher level than your party is not. But how high or low can you go? A creature 4 levels lower than your party is considered a low-level lackey, just a little guy that is trying to make it in the organization. Look at him go. On the other end, a creature 4 levels higher than your party is an extreme threat boss. You would likely need the entire session, all of the party's resources and tactics, and multiple bags of chips to take this guy down. Having a world-ending threat every session is not as fun as you think, and having just a single guy is not as interesting either. But too many bad guys isn't good for anyone either. Just try to keep track of who got hit again. Wait, I think he already took damage. Okay. So how do we budget our goons? In Pathfinder, there's 5 different tiers to an encounter. There's trivial, low, moderate, severe, and extreme. Depending on the level, each creature has a determined amount of XP. Of course, when defeated, they give the party this amount of XP. The more creatures, the more XP, the faster you will level up. When creating an encounter, combine the XP of every creature involved and compare it to this table, so you will know how hard that encounter is. But what exactly does this mean? A moderate encounter is just your average Friday night with the boys. Anything below you might consider a warm-up, or an entertaining way to test your party. If you're starting out, try a few low difficulty, even trivial encounters before throwing a moderate encounter at them. A severe encounter is quite challenging and requires some coordination and resources to take on. An extreme encounter is not only a serious challenge, it's also very likely to end badly for the group. Most adventure paths have just a few extreme encounters, because it takes a few bad rolls to take it from a serious challenge to an unfair situation. Adventure paths and the standard encounter table are built with 4 players in mind. If you're not like me and have a lot of friends, you might have to adjust your encounters. For that, here's another table. So, let's assume, for a level 6 party of 4 players, we want to create an encounter in a bandit hideout. There's a bandit captain and some grunts. The captain's not like the bandit king, so he can be around the party's level. Let's say a hobgoblin general. On his own, he's a trivial encounter, but the grunts, while individually non-threatening, push the encounter up. One grunt is 4 levels under the party, so 4 grunts make this a moderate encounter. Now, let's make this a little more interesting. The bandits are in the hideout, an abandoned town where they made camp. They have barrels and crates for cover, dilapidated houses to hide and ambush the party, and they can even climb on the roofs or surrounding trees for an advantage. Terrain also plays a part in an encounter. If the area is hard to navigate, you might want to consider this a severe encounter instead, especially if your monsters have ranged advantage. If your party is smart, they can also use the terrain to their advantage, maybe even more than the bandits themselves. But why is your party here to begin with? Either the bandits kidnapped somebody important, or they found a treasure the party's also after, or the party is looking for the bandit king himself, and they need to keep at least one bandit alive for more information on the bigger operation. Perhaps there is an organization behind a bigger plot, and these bandits are just the tip of the iceberg. So, let's keep building. After interrogating the bandits, the party learns of another group heading west with a shipment of stolen goods. As the good guys, TM, the party will go find these bandits in the docks. And now, things get more dangerous. Personally, I like to use my first encounter as a test, intentionally lower difficulty, just to see how the party works with each other, and how they square up against the bad guys I've chosen. After a couple more moderate encounters, maybe with a couple extra enemies, replace this guy with another guy, maybe wolf, maybe bigger wolf, maybe these two can go. If the party seems to be doing okay, then good job, not much to change. If it seems too hard, something's not working, and if it's too easy, add a couple of grunts. Or, elite enemies are a special kind of enemy in Pathfinder. Any creature can be an elite monster. All you need to do is increase its stats by 2, increase level by 1, and increase their HP as per this table. And now you have an elite enemy. Elite enemies are harder than their normal counterparts, so use them sparingly. In this case, let's add 1 elite ogre boss. As a level 8 creature, the ogre boss is a severe encounter on his own. If you want to get really spicy, you can add 4 grunts as well to make this an extreme encounter. But be careful, if your party is not prepared, this is likely to be a game ender. You can replace the elite ogre boss with a regular ogre boss, making this a moderate to severe encounter, or even replace it with 2 hobgoblin captains. In any case, it's entirely reasonable for the bandits to try to flee. If they have anything of value, they will try to stop the party from killing them, or even approaching the docks. Also, here's a little secret. If things look really bad for your group, have the ogre boss flee to reduce the difficulty of this encounter. Don't make it too obvious though. If they have a chance to flee or not, the party can interrogate any grunt left behind, or investigate around the docks to find more about what is happening. Maybe the bandits had a little boat ready to sail, with a map and some supplies, and a few valuables. The map marks an island not far from where they are, and they can assume that's where the bandit headquarters are. Capture Bandit could also give them this information with some intimidation checks, and even inform them of other creatures in that island. Maybe the bandits kept monstrous pets, and they're led by a ghost pirate. Perhaps they're looking for an ancient treasure the pirate lost in life, or he was summoned by a powerful necromancer for a more devious plot. Give the party time to investigate around town, restock, and prepare to travel to this island. Maybe they can find out more about what awaits them there, and prepare accordingly for harder encounters. And as you set foot in the sandy beaches of the island, with the burning sun overhead, you see the sand shifting as something awakens and prepares to attack you. Oh,
Not come
again! I love skeletons.